Well, hello and welcome back. Welcome to episode 34 of the Daily Sales Message, where each and every single day for at least the last 34 days in a row now, we've provided you with a piece of simple, actionable advice that's going to help you to improve your sales performance and help you feel more confident too. And really, the confidence is the thing that matters. If you're new around here, my name is James Newell. I teach people how to sell for a living. I have a two-pronged approach. The first thing for me is having a clear sales message so people understand precisely what you're trying to sell to them. And the second is developing selling confidence, so feeling natural and comfortable in a selling situation. That is essential to doing well. In this episode of the Daily Sales Message, we are talking about discounting. And in particular, when somebody asks you for a discount. This is a very common thing. You get to talking about the price, you tell the person, they say, oh, that's great. Could you do it for this? Could you knock off 500 quid? Could you throw in that for free or whatever? And for a lot of my clients and students who are already like at the brink of anxiety and nerves, having spoken about the price and handled objections and presented their offer and got to this point, they just want this to be over now. They're very, very likely to say, oh, okay, yep, sure, we'll meet your demands. We'll knock that off. We'll do this, we'll do that. Because they want to eject out of the situation as quickly as possible and they feel uncomfortable, and rightly so. If you've not done it too many times, if you're not too confident about it, it can be an uncomfortable situation to be in. But that kind of behavior is problematic because it erodes your profit margin and it gives people a lessened perspective or perception of your price and what you're truly worth. If somebody asks for a discount and you just say no, it's like the Apple story, isn't it? Apple very rarely, if ever, apart from like students and things, they don't do discounts. And we know that and we're fine with that. And we kind of respect them for a little bit as well, right? And there's other places where it's always in sale. You'd have to go out of your way to buy a full price sofa from a particular company here in the UK. And we have a different perception of value. Getting back to the point. So what do? You've spoken to somebody, ta-da, here's my price. And we've given that price as fact, not emotion. Going back to a previous episode of the Daily Sales Message, here is the price. How does it sound to you? And they come back and say, well, that's great, but could you do it for this? Could you knock 100 million pounds off, whatever? This is how we respond to those people. Yes, in principle, yes, we could. But tell me, which part of the offer would you like me to remove? Which part of the offer would you like me to remove? Or you could tell them. So yeah, we could actually take £500 off, but it'll mean we'll have to get rid of this, this, and this. Is that okay? And just see what happens. What we're doing here is saying, look, you can pay less for this, but you get less. You can't pay less and get the same. That doesn't work. So you pay less and you get less. Or you're buying bulk, you're buying tons of this stuff. But the more common thing is if you pay if you pay less, you get less. And that generally stops people in their tracks. And what it means is you've affirmed your position in the conversation, but without being rude about it. They have a respect for your price because you're not easily bowled over. Who knows? Maybe they would take a reduction, pay less, get less. That's fine. You've still done the business. But from my experience, they just go, oh, no, actually, I need all that stuff. So, okay, I'll just pay full price anyway. Discounting. What would you like me to take away in order to hit that price? That is how we respond to this arbitrary discount request. Can you knock 500 quid off? Yes, absolutely. But I'd have to take away blah, blah, blah. Are you okay with that? Another segue from here when talking about discounting, another thing that you can do to stop people in their tracks, because some people know exactly what they're doing when they're asking for discounts and they're just pushing as hard as possible, and they know people aren't very confident when they sell, particularly if it's a small business, particularly if it's a new small business, so they might seek to take advantage. You can ask this question. So they say, can I have a £500 discount, whatever? Yeah, sure, I'll have a look into that. What's the reason for the discount? Why would you like that discount? And then do what I just did then, take a sip of your drink, be quiet. Because if the reason is, because I want to pay less, they look a bit silly, don't they? And not many people are going to admit to that. They're going to say, well, I want to pay less or never mind or whatever. But it's just a nice way of pushing back and just not being instantly bowled over and selling stuff and losing profit and everything, all because in the heat of the moment you got a bit nervous because they asked for a discount. You went, oh, okay, and you folded like a cheap deck chair, and that was it. So the moral of the story today, children, two things. First of all, somebody asked for a discount. Let me have a look. What's the reason for the discount? See what they say. Second thing you can try is, potentially we could do that. Which part of the offer would you like me to remove? Or we can potentially do that, but I'd have to remove these parts of the offering. It helps you to reassert your position in the conversation, helps to protect your profit, for God's sake, because we've got to run a profitable business. And also, once you've done this once or twice, you'll never go back to arbitrary discounting. You'll always stand firm in talking about your offer. And that over time will make you a lot more money and will just continue to build your confidence over time as time goes on. There we go. Got all very deep there at the end. Sorry about that. I'm not a deep person usually, but there we go. That's it for this episode, number 34 of the Daily Sales Message. Next episode, tomorrow, number 35. We're looking at something that leads to conversions. Something that leads to conversions that you're probably not doing enough of. And it is... Oh, wait, no, I'll have to tell you that tomorrow. So tune in then. I will tell you what leads to conversions. Thank you for listening. If you aren't already subscribed, please hit the button. If you'd like to share this with somebody, I'd really appreciate that. Somebody that's going to take value from this, might subscribe to the Daily Sales Message. Somebody that's going to benefit from this. Somebody you know that might struggle. We talk about discounting and price and all this stuff. Feel free to share it with them. It helps us to reach more people, and I'd be very grateful for that. That's it for today. I'll see you tomorrow for another edition of the Daily Sales Message.